I make the world graphical.
I add value through my products.
I am an animator.
I am a filmmaker. I develop trends.
I transform designs to reality.
I create environments.
I translate stories to furniture.
I design experiences. I'm an immersive media designer.
I design mobility.
This is not only a design institute.
This is a design lab.
Join us in our design movement.
Hello, I am Indrajit Neogi, currently the Head of Department of Film and Video Design of MIT Institute of Design, Pune. We are having our webinar session of our department, which is Film and Video Design, and along with me is Ashmaki Acharya. She is former HOD of Whistling-Wood. I am sure all of you know about Whistling-Wood. It's a very famous international institute situated in Bombay, and she was heading the department of direction, and she is also a filmmaker, and both of us are from FTI, and I passed out in early 1980 and she passed out in 1985, correct? And we have grown up in an environment where there was no computer. We learned cinema without computer. Today you can't think of cinema without computer. So Ashmaki, can you narrate the whole experience, the journey, the change happened during your professional lifetime?
Hello everyone, thank you Professor Neogi, and it's a pleasure to be here. I do recollect that times have changed so drastically that it is inconceivable for us to communicate to the students today what and how we learnt. We kept on hearing about, is this the end of cinema? When we studied cinema, when sound came. When color was introduced, there was similar kind of diagnosis. But today with the digital penetration that has happened in both production and post-production, it has changed the scenario so drastically that I feel that it has done two things. One, it has enabled and made your work more accessible, made the possibility of becoming a filmmaker very, very accessible to people who earlier could not have perhaps dreamt, thought, or even been able to afford it. But on the other hand, it has also made them wasteful. And that is something which I worry about at times. But I think that we are living in a period of history where change is the constant. And I think we should learn to adapt, to mold, because ultimately it is the human brain which is going to create. So yes, these are interesting times. The Chinese have a saying, may you live in interesting times. These times couldn't have been much more interesting. I wonder how do you teach students today for technologies which are yet to emerge? It has been a constant challenge as in the field of education, particularly in cinema.
And also the one very serious problem I am sure you must have faced in your teaching experience, and I am also facing, is that there is such a range of cinema is there, not only purely in terms of a content, also in terms of a budget, in terms of a approach, in terms of a technology. We make feature films even in India where the budget can go up to 100 crores, and whereas also we make feature films which is budget is 50 lakhs, correct? And the same people have to adapt to both. What has happened with digital technology is that it has opened up both ways. One level we are getting into these verticals which are technological excellence, and we are absolutely high end of this technology. At the same time, there is a nice horizontal growth is happening, where more and more people, thanks to technology, can access cinema, can make films. Today the cameras are available in less than 2 lakhs, which is almost giving a professional quality output. The budget of sound has come down drastically. Budget of editing practically becomes zero because you can edit in your own laptop. So the cost of filmmaking has come down drastically. Actually, when somebody has got 5 lakhs and somebody has the initiative, he can actually dream of making a film.
Absolutely true. And that, I think, is one of the most exciting happenings in the last 10-15 years. In fact, Godard had said that when the camera becomes accessible to everybody, will cinema be truly liberated. So while we all are carrying these smartphones and have the ability to use them, we have to distinguish and differentiate between the various kinds of cinemas available to us. There is not only the monopoly now of fiction filmmaking, the lighter, faster, swifter, all these 3 elements which have come together, whether it is in cameras or sound equipment or in editing, what it has done is it's energized it, in fact. I would say that it has given a new lease. The purists will always be nostalgic about celluloid and film, and true, it hasn't yet died. There are filmmakers who can afford to do it, but it is absolutely very difficult now. So I'm seeing this digital intervention as opening newer audiences, bringing in fresh talent, and at the same time perhaps opening up, as you said, that across this whole concept of a global village, the accessibility of watching cinema which is coming from Korea, which is coming from Vietnam, which is coming from countries which were earlier not known to be in the forefront of cinema.
Nepal, Bhutan,
Absolutely.
and
And local stories finding a global market. So somewhere it has allowed us to communicate in a far more enriching fashion. I don't fear technology. I feel that it has to be welcomed, but it has to be harnessed.
Yes, yes,
It
absolutely.
cannot
You use the
become-
right word. I am going to was thinking of the same word exactly.
Also, the other problem with digital is the excess. So the only thing I do miss from shooting on film was that it brought about a certain rigor. It brought about a certain confidence of commitment, that it is not that you will keep taking shot after shot after shot in some, fantasy of arriving at perfection. But you found beauty in that slight imperfection in a shot, but you could not afford to take another shot because your raw stock would run out. So it made us far more comfortable in our skins of decision making. And of course, prepared us to be far more meticulous in our planning. But that is the only thing I would, really share with potential filmmakers in film schools, that learn to work within your self-imposed limitations. Otherwise,
that
the world
discipline is important. Otherwise, you get carried away with the options available to you, because I can actually take 100 takes today, whereas in film I couldn't even think of 3 or 4 takes. So there was a much more serious application of mind was happening, which sometimes we lose focus on.
The other thing which is very good about this digital revolution is that somewhere these platforms which have opened up, that earlier film viewing, while it has its sanctity of a collective viewing, of making it an occasion of going to a film hall, but I have memories, and I'm sure you have also, of seeing scratched prints,
Yes,
of not being able to see the work of the artist as it was. Whereas in digital also, in 4K, we've seen it getting pixelated and so on.
Yeah.
So every process will come with its problems.
Yeah.
But the digital platforms which have opened up for particularly cinema, I think are fantastic opportunities for sharing stories, for communicating and creating new markets.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we need to create new markets, new audiences. And they are providing the pathway to that.
The one question, like we call ourselves film and video design course. So I remember that when I came here, I joined here, many students asked me this question, what is the difference between film and video design? and film and video making.
In fact, I wanted to ask you
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because we come from schools which were known as film and television production or film and television.
Yes,
Just that, but
even
this
I have grown up in
design
that.
element, yeah.
That when that word design, and actually, I'll tell you honestly that I never had a ready-made answer to it. It took me some years to figure out what we exactly mean by design, and I'll tell you, this is my it might be a very personal understanding, and you might have a different opinion about it. I want to confirm design with film as an art form.
Right.
You know, when we look film also as an art form, as in commercial form. So if I'm an artist, I primarily do things I create art for myself. So the artist, the filmmaker become the center of that universe. And then whatever he or she wants to do, does it. Then it is up to the audience to like it or dislike it. But whereas in design, I think one of the primary concept of design is to solve a problem. You have to identify a problem, you have to solve the problem. In this case, I look at, actually we call it also a communication design course.
Right.
Film is coming under communication design. So primarily this word is communication. We can communicate through film, we can communicate through graphics, we can communicate through animations, but we are communicating. So there is always somebody on the other side of the fence with whom I am trying to communicate. And my success depends on how successfully I communicate. But whereas as a film director or a film artist, you make your film and then after a point you get either appreciated or you get rejected. But here my success criteria is whether the other guy is understanding me or not. So I give a lot of focus on who is the group for which you are making the film. Who is the target audience? And that is absolutely important. And you keep it that in mind and make the films. And the whole aesthetics of cinema evolves around that. It is not the other way around.
True. No, I absolutely agree with you. In retrospect, now that I'm thinking about it, using the word production makes it very mechanically oriented. Whereas by consciously choosing to keep the word design for your course, there is a purpose and intention towards which through creativity you are saying we communicate. And that gives it a certain value, because by production we were always emphasizing the not only the mechanics but just the bland film making as a very process oriented activity. I think that this element of emphasis that you are putting on the design aspects of it, in terms of innovation or in terms of creativity, will seep into the course. Which brings me to ask you, what is the unique USP of the course design in your institute?
Yep. To do that, what I'll do, I'll take you through a journey of our course structure. You know, it's a 4-year course.
Right.
In the very first year, they join as design student. They go through the foundation course where they do many things. That time they have not made up their mind what they want to specialize in. But after 1 year, they specialize. There are industrial design vertical and there is communication design vertical. And in communication, there is a film, there is animation, there are graphics. There is graphics. So after 1 year, they decide. And that decision often happens because of their personal interest or the way they have understood design, and primarily it happens because of their own personal urge or curiosity. So they come to films. But after coming to films, they still have to go for 3 years.
Right.
And I will take you semester by semester and show some of the students' work, and then we'll talk about it. So then you understand that what is whether do we have a unique approach to filmmaking or not. But here, before we start this journey, I want to tell you one more thing, is that in FTI or in a traditional film schools, the maximum focus is on fiction films.
Right.
Correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure that's true in Whistling also, that's true in FTI. There's a lot of focus. But here in our case, almost 70% of the work is happening in a non-fiction place. Of course, we respect fiction, and we have a tremendous, I think the cinema is primarily storytelling, whether it is fiction or non-fiction. It is storytelling. There's a narrative in every film.
Everything.
But we also explore lot of non-fiction area. Just I want to brief you that. And it starts from our very first project. So in first semester, first project, initially they get introduced to, the students get introduced to basic direction, camera, sound, film appreciation, they watch a lot of movies, and the very first project they do actually shooting an interview. You know, how to talk to a person, how to portray, understand a person, and how to portray that person in cinematic term. So that exercise is interview. What I'll do, I'll show you one clipping from a interview film which one of our students did in a very difficult situation, which is the red light area in Pune, which is Budwarpet. He managed to go there, he managed to develop some contacts, and he actually managed to interview persons from that area. So can we see?
ये मेरे जन्म से ही है, मैंने ज़बरदस्ती कुछ बाज़ार में से ख़रीद नहीं है. मेरी फीलिंग फीमेल की जैसा है. मुझे एज ग्रुप कैसे बढ़ते रहे, मेरी फीलिंग चेंज होते रहे. तो समाज में अनेक स्टिग्मा, डिस्क्रिमिनेशंस, मेरी कपड़ों से, मेरी चलना से, सबको प्रॉब्लम होता था. तो इसके लिए घर से 9th स्टैंडर्ड तक मैं तेलुगु मीडियम पढ़ी. तो वहाँ से प्रॉब्लम हो गई, तो वहाँ से घर मैंने छोड़ दिया. छोड़ के बहुत, तो हैदराबाद पब्लिक गार्डन पे, हैदराबाद में पब्लिक गार्डन है, वहाँ पे थोड़ा दिन रहा है. तो वापस मैंने हमारे नेटिव प्लेस को चले गए थे. वहाँ से फिर थोड़ा दिन, फिर 9th स्टैंडर्ड, फिर एग्ज़ाम में बैठे, फिर फेल हो गए. तो घर पे मारा मारी, गुस्सा करना पड़ता नहीं है. फिर अच्छे फ्रेंड्स भी नहीं है मेरा. लड़की लोग फ्रेंड्स करेंगे तो और लड़का लोग को प्रॉब्लम हो जाता था. लड़की लोग फ्रेंड्स रहेंगे तो लड़के लोग को, ऐसे दोनों भी मेरे से फ्रेंडशिप कोई नहीं करता था. मैं ऐसे सोचती, मैं अकेले क्यों ऐसा है, ऐसे मैं सोचती थी.
Okay, he is not with right now here, but Nimisha, can I have the mic, please? Nimisha worked in that film. You did the sound.
Yeah, I worked as a sound recorder.
Sound
on
recording.
set.
So she actually, when she was in the second year of your
Yeah,
college,
second year.
you had to go through this experience of shooting in an area where generally people avoid.
Yeah.
And being a woman, you entered, you actually shot. Can you narrate your experience?
Yeah, basically we went into the shoot with like a lot of apprehensions, like about how it's going to be, and so we assumed like a lot of things, and we were completely like mistaken when we entered, because all of them were like really eager to meet us and very friendly, and they made sure that we felt comfortable instead.
It shows, because there is a certain ease with
Yeah.
which, there is a certain openness with which their entire interview has been shot, which shows a certain degree of comfort.
Yeah.
And I think this is an interesting exercise that you have devised, because primarily for cinema we are dealing with what? Our raw material is human beings, emotions. And to connect with somebody who is so far away from your direct experience, from your milieu, and get them to open up. I wish you do convey it to your director that it's a very good job.
The next project what we do is a short documentary. Very short documentary. It is the length is not more than 4 to 5 minutes, and that much I can tell you. Whether the films are that good or bad, that's something I don't want to judge. But actually, they are accessing very interesting subjects. This is one film I am going to show. This is a film about cement workers. Just next to our campus, there is a place where they load cements from next to Loni station. And this, his director's name is Himalaya Dave. He has already, he's an ex-student now. He did this film 5-6 years back. I want you to see this film. This film also happened to get selected in the National Student Festival, the first festival actually this film got selected or was shown. So it is basically a visual depiction of one day in cement workers' life, what they do, and the whole use of the dust and the using techniques like fast forward and slow motion to capture that what is happening.
Authenticity of that moment. Yeah. No, documentary as a form is so exciting, and for students, I think exploring it in the natural environment, of getting out of their comfort zone of campus, of minutely observing any activity or any individual or any process, will feed into their fiction filmmaking later. So I think this course, as you have designed it, that you first start with non-fiction and documentary, will strengthen their roots.
He's Hadis. He also made a very nice film on the those carpenters who come from Bihar or UP. In this case, I think they came from
UP, mostly UP.
They came and they were working in Pune, and how they stay, how they survive in Pune. They stay in that one place where they're doing making the furniture. So can you narrate your experience?
Actually, they were quite reluctant in the beginning. One of them started crying about speaking about his house, and he could not give the interview after that. But we slowly we kept on speaking to them.
हिंदी में तो बात की होगी ना?
जी हिंदी में बात की.
How did you put them at ease? How did you break the ice?
So okay, believe it or not, so I took interviews twice. One was the first night that I was taking the interview, but it didn't go so well. But I was adamant on taking their interviews, so I had to shoot what do you call it, the supporting images of their work. So I stayed with them, I ate with them, and I slept with them one night, and then I took the interview again. And that time was the time, when they were a little more friendly, and they just started opening up.
Did it change you?
I learned a lot from this one. Like I said, I did not plan on taking the interviews later on. But as I did so, I did learn the fact that being with them, on interacting with them more on a more personal level, will actually open me up as well along with their side to explore.
Okay, now the next semester, this is semester 5, they get into fiction. That is pure storytelling. They come out with their own story, ideations. They'll select 3 or 4 stories, out of which we finally decide one story, and they make a film. You go through the whole process of from ideation to execution. We don't concentrate on production-driven programs. On the contrary, we focus a lot on storytelling, characterizations, and make these nice human stories.
Mayur?
Mayuri.
You smoke?
कशी आहेस?
Good. New job, Naveen apartment, Naveen boyfriend. Ani tu?
Nice.
You got surgery?
हो. 2 महिने झाले. तू कुठे चाललीयस?
नहीं.
आपण चालूयात का?
चलो.
नाहीतर
I really envy you.
Why?
Introduction में कितनी easily सबसे कह दिया that you like girls.
अब मैं जो हूँ वो हूँ.
Okay, from the clippings, it is obvious that it is they got into a topic which generally we don't discuss about. First, we'll discuss Drona's film. Drona, why don't you talk about your film?
So, Mairi was a film that I made as a part of my experimental fiction film, which I did in my third year. So, the clip that we just saw was towards the end, like it was the climax of the film, where it talks about a guy called Mayur. So, the film starts with him packing to go to Singapore to get a breast augmentation surgery. So, the clip that we saw is when he met his ex-girlfriend. So, she got to know he wanted to be like a transgender. So that's the first encounter that they're having after so many years from the day they broke up.
Would you feel that if you had access to a lot of things, the attention and focus would have gone on perhaps the richness of the background or the artificiality of creating that?
I think being limited with what we had like really helped. So we sort of gave a lot of focus into like rehearsing with them because we had really limited time because we weren't building a set. So we had to always like get permissions from a nearby cafe, and they'll always ask us to shoot in a time frame where there are lesser people so that we don't hamper their business. So to show the whole climax sequence, we had around like 2 hours, and I think there were like 3 pages of script to go through to finish the whole climax. So
limitations do increase your efficiency.
Yeah, it does.
It sharpens your attention and focus, and you know that you know what, the sun is going to set and there is no question of being able to take a shot.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that as an institution, as a department, you are encouraging students to take up ideas, themes, issues which are very, very sensitive and very, very current.
That's exactly what I feel that about Prokhar's film, that it is a story about the relationship between two girls. And this is the first comment I made him, that when I saw the film, and actually I forgot that is actually a love story between two girls. It could have been easily the way it has been treated. It's a love story. It just happened to be that two girls. And that is something which is very rare, because when you making a film on same-sex relationship, when your focus is more on the same sex than their relationship. But this is one film he has managed to do it.
In first semester, when we were making documentary, so one of my batchmate, he was making a documentary on LGBT community, and I was shooting that. So while shooting it, I also got to talk with all the interviewees, and this is one question that I asked, like there are more films on this topic and there are more explorations on the topic. So they said it's good, like it's a unanimous thing that all of them said is, all these films are still made in a way कि देखो ये एक homosexuality film है, ये वो emotion है नहीं जो एक आम लोगों की film है. It's always their film to teach us. That's where this idea came कि let's make it our kind of film. It's a regular love story with regular love story wala beat. It's a musical. It has a song in it, and like you see, she was dancing and all the rom-com tropes and everything. So it was done in a way like that one. And she acted, of course, my branchmate.
In fact, I already told him, if anything doesn't work out, I was like, you rehearse the script with me. Firstly, because it'll help me in production. Secondly, in case we don't get anyone till the last moment, you'll know at least that I am there as a backup.
Great effort. Honestly, I think.
Acha, next is good old music video. They do it. And let me introduce Nimesh Gaur. Nimesh said he's my colleague and he's always in charge of music video. So Nimesh, can you show one and then give a little bit of a brief about it?
Here the good thing is that the students in this particular video, the students have composed the music also. So they actually compose the music and then they shot it. And again, as it is being done in lots of restrictions, our only mantra is to make our limitations our strength.
तो पेश है पप्पू ब्रास बैंड की नई पेशकश हमदम 1 1 2 2 3 3 मुझे तू मेरा सा लगा 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 थोड़ा सा लगा लगा लगा
as a wedding song where just a backstory, we did a trilogy in this, a same set of lyrics, and the student composed 3 different music, and it became so that it was such a lovely coincidence that the first song became a romantic song, second became a wedding celebration, and third became post-wedding trauma. So it was a good exercise, and as you know, shooting a music video, I think, is or picturizing a music is one of the toughest job in audiovisual, because you have to tell story in the time limit provided by the rhythm of the music. So we do it, and every year some 1 or 2 students end up making a very good video. Last year, Drona and his team they made a music video on a band existing in Kerala. And I'm proud to say that that video turned out so good that the band has made it its official video now.
It was a 3-member crew that made the video. So so the band is not, it's from Chennai, not from Kerala. So all 3 of us liked the band and really wanted to do something based on a particular song from the band. And the 3 of us liked 3 different aspects of filmmaking. Like one of them really liked editing, I liked to do the camera, and one guy really liked directing. So we could really zero in on what we wanted to do, and there were a lot of these transitions that we were trying to do, that we have to do in production so that it'll match in post, so that it works out smoothly. And we had everything written down in paper, and we somehow managed to pull it off.
Because this is the safe space where you can experiment. Here is where you can try out as many different kinds of, filmmaking styles, techniques, languages that you can.
Well, now next semester, that we call it bread and butter semester. I'll tell you why it is bread and butter, because I always think that you need to develop those skill sets to survive through life. So the first film what they make in bread and butter semester is promotional documentary. It's a documentary which is sponsored. They actually find a client who wants to make a documentary, and they make it for them, for the client. Actually, it is a very real
according to a
relationship. It's not a fictitious relationship. Right. It's a real relationship, and the clients they brief them that what they're expecting from the film, and they do according to that. So I will show you one film, a clipping of a film which was shot in Pondicherry. It is in Auroville.
Right.
1 or 2 students, they made this film.
We wanted to live in a place where we don't have to compromise. We felt that we compromised enough, and we want to really live the way we always aspired to and the way we should.
Well, I mean, this is a film which was they've made for an NGO which is working in Pondicherry. So our students make this kind of films quite a lot. Right now, these 2, they are making a film on a gym.
It's not a bread and butter situation. They're going to end up with brawny muscles and quite a bit.
That's what he told,
But
that he did a promotional film for them, which is
Right.
free of cost, and now they're
Absolutely.
getting some professional remuneration for this.
This is real world experience you're getting while you are still studying, which I would say is a perfect amalgam of understanding that you're not going to be creating in a vacuum. There are times when you will take your scripts and pitch them, and at other times people will come to you and ask. So this is, I think, a very critical component of the semester.
This is a very tight semester. In this semester, immediately after that, they make an ad film, which is a very standard ad film format. That is not with real client.
Right.
They can pick up any subject and they can make a film, but they at least understand the grammar of ad film making. Then they're making another interesting project called Instructional Film, which is a film, primarily educational film for students. You know, that is one area which is developing, and definitely there is a lot of stress on audiovisual teaching.
Right.
And we are shifting away from textbook.
And it's a hugely growing market. E-learning, looking at simplifying concepts. I think that is a market which is hugely exciting because our economy depends on it. You'll be asked whether it's transport, whether it is defense, whether it is education, medicine. They all need now audio-visual support and learning.
How do cameras see the world? Well, it's pretty similar to how your eyes see the world. It all works on the light which is reflected from every object to the lens in your eye to receive it. How does such a big picture get captured in such a small receptor in your eye? Let's go back one step to the lenses. This is where the magic happens.
Now, semester 7, and that is the time when we start treating them like an adult. Okay. The most difficult project comes in semester 7, which is documentary film in bracket exploratory.
Okay.
What we mean by that is that it's a film. They have an idea, but they can't really write the script about it. It is not pre-planned. They kind of start shooting into it, and while shooting, the structure evolves, and every day shoot leads to next day shoot, and finally the film is made. It's very challenging, very difficult, but they go through the experience. I want to show you one film where one of the ex-students, she made a film on a family where the mother is suffering from cancer.
Are there like treatments or something you have tried? The tumor is completely gone. She's absolutely fine. But because the tumor was in such an area, the motor area is affected. So the good cells are also dead. So her coordination goes wrong. Her willpower is gone and she's had her hand broken. We tried doing physiotherapy. Om Shiva Para Shiva Omkara Shiva Tava Sharanam Namami Shankara Bhavani Shankara Uma Maheshwara Tava Sharanam.
So students go through this experience. I think as a filmmaker it is very important to discover cinema from real life, and there is always a very human story to tell, and how to see that story. First of all, you have to see that story, you have to find that story and tell that story. And so this course lasts for quite a long time. It's a 3 months course.
Okay.
So they make the films over 3 months, and then we have a very interesting syllabus which is called professional elective. Matlab, the students next 3 months to student decide what they want to do. They can do anything what they want according to their area of interest, and by that time they are quite focused, but they have figured out what they want to be. I mean, whether they want to be a film director, want to be a film editor, or a writer, or a documentary filmmaker, or ad filmmaker, or they want to be a production person. So they kind of select those 3 months according to their niche interest. Here, from last year onwards, another new thing opened up. We have come to some kind of a MOU with an Italian, can I call it a group, NGO, film group, film club, is a traveling film festival called Cinema d'Amare. So the people from 100, more than 100 people come from all over the world. They meet in Italy, they travel across 12 different cities, and that finally culminates in Venice Film Festival. And on the way, they are making 12 different films in 12 different towns or cities. And 3 of our students did that last year as a part of this course. Mukund is one of them, Nimisha is one of them. And you won't believe, I mean, the amount of work they delivered in those 3 months is quite unbelievable, and pretty good quality work, and with the same technical facility. It is not that they have got something which is more than what we are providing. Can you see some of the film?
So, I mean, he pretty much summed it up. So basically how the program works is that there are people who come to the program from all over the world, and they don't really care about your background or anything. There are people who come who are interested in every aspect of cinema. So I went there interested in writing, directing and editing. Nimisha went there interested in shooting. At least the people from this college, we went there as just interested filmmakers, but there are people who came there just for makeup. People who came there who were just interested in set design, people who came there who were just interested in writing or just editing or just shooting. So you had a very diverse spectrum of people over there. It was a very interesting experience because you get there, you get to a particular location on a week. You have 1 week to make your film, that's it, right? So Monday and Tuesday, say you get there on a Sunday, right? Monday and Tuesday, you plan out your script, you do all your location recce's. Wednesday, Thursday, you shoot it. Friday, you edit it. Saturday is the screening. If you're if your shoot goes on for one more day longer, you won't sleep Friday night, and Saturday is the screening. So, and then this kept recurring, and every week. So eventually we all sort of got into this zone where it wasn't really stressful anymore. We used to just, we woke up and we had so many different ideas, and also it being Italy, it was just like some of the places they took us to were really beautiful. So that gave us ideas in itself. There's something about the atmosphere and how everyone is in on it and everyone is super invested in what everyone else is doing, which really worked.
Honestly speaking, this kind of an experience, if the institute is providing and doing these kind of collaborations and tie-ups, will open their minds, definitely, and let them discover themselves.
Yes, there are some really good work they have done, and the best part is that they managed to inspire the next batch, and next time, and this batch, the 7 students applied. So I'll take it up from him. He said zone. You use the word zone? Yeah. So once you're in that zone, that you just work and you're inspired and you don't feel tired and go. And I want to take it and say that I also love using another word called flow. Our aim is to put the students into the flow of cinema, the flow of filmmaking. And once the students arrive there, rest takes care. Automatically it happens. Because the filmmaking has never been an easy profession. It's always demanding, always challenging, and always extremely inspiring. And end of the day, you go through it, you make it. So you're in a flow which keeps you going.
And somewhere I think over the years, you have been nurturing this course and making those kind of changes, which the few times that I have come and seen, it is not consistent with every batch or every student, but somewhere in the work at least it has started translating itself. That they are not only giving 100%, but they are now pushing to themselves to look at newer ways of telling emotions, newer ways of exploring their passions, what pains them, what hurts them, what moves them. And that, I think, is the flow that you're talking about, that once any student who comes here does not feel that disconnect with himself, herself, their gene pool and the larger world outside, because those anxieties are not relevant at all in this learning process. What they are learning here will strengthen them to actually go out and, I think, put it out there. Provided you are committed to doing your riyaz every day. We were speaking about it, that there is nothing else except that glorious feeling of actually being part of a group of people and bringing something which is so abstract in the mind, on paper, in discussions, into reality. That joy, I think, is the gift of the course.
Okay, so with this, I think we'll wrap up for today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Viewers have got a fairly good idea about what this course is all about. Thanks a lot.
I make the world graphical.
I add value through my products.
I am an animator.
I am a filmmaker.
I develop trends.
I transform designs to reality.
I create environments.
I translate stories to furniture.
I design experiences. I'm an immersive media designer.
I design mobility.
This is not only a design institute.
This is a design lab.
Join us in our design